Welcome to our detailed analysis of the interactions between two Chinese experimental satellites, TJS-3 and TJS-10, in May 2024. These satellites are part of the Tongxin Jishu Shiyan program, which operates in geostationary orbit. While their exact missions are classified, China publicly announced that TJS-3 might conduct multi-band and high-speed communication technology experiments, and TJS-10 was mainly used for multi-band and high-speed communication technology experiments. Since joining the GEO belt in mid-November 2023, TJS-10 has been near TJS-3. Today, we will explore the close encounters between TJS-3 and TJS-10 during May 2024. We begin with TJS-10 positioned to the east of TJS-3. After two maneuvers on May 15th, TJS-10 increased its orbit 23 kilometers and begins drifting westward, passing TJS-3 on May 16th. On the 17th of May, TJS-10 lowered its altitude 23 kilometers to halt its westward drift. It then lowered its altitude 1 kilometer on the 22nd of May and began slowly tracking back to the east. It again reduced its altitude another 5 kilometers on the 26th of May, increasing its eastward drift rate and moving closer to TJS-3, eventually settling into a new, stable, and closer longitude geo slot. In these two short videos from May 16th and May 29th, we observe potential conjunctions detected before processing maneuver data for TJS-10. The COMSPOC SSA suite identified potential conjunctions at very close proximities, 14 kilometers on May 16th and 6 kilometers on May 29th. These videos showcase these potential encounters, which ultimately did not occur as TJS-10 operators likely performed correction maneuvers. COMSPOC systems detected 4 maneuvers from May 15th to May 27th, suggesting TJS-10 performed maneuvers to approach TJS-3 safely. Here we observe the actual closest encounter between the two satellites of interest. This video uses the latest updated ephemeris file from COMSPOC, including maneuver information and analysis from STK. The closest approach occurred at a range of 24.7 kilometers, with the solar phase angle, SPA, value below 20 degrees. An SPA below 20 degrees is optimal for imaging, as it allows the inspector to capture the secondary satellite reflecting the sun on its surface while being significantly hidden. Next, we examine the radial in-track cross-track, RIC, graph for the potential encounter on May 16th, forecasted by COMSPOC. The closest approach could have occurred at about 14 kilometers with a 600-minute duration. The radial and cross-track values are closely similar, indicating that the satellites were in the same orbital plane. The in-track value closes in at 2012 Raugraus UTCG, marking the time of what could have been the closest approach if no maneuver was performed. For the May 29th encounter, the closest approach could have occurred at 12:26:31 UTCG, with a separation of just 6 kilometers. The behavior is consistent with the May 16th encounter, where the in-track value closes in with the secondary asset, and the cross-track and radial values remain similar, confirming they share the same orbital plane. This RIC graph shows the actual encounter on May 16th, with the minimum range of 24.7 kilometers occurring at 18:15 UTCG. We can observe a similar trend in the in-track curve to the longitude curve, which you will see right after, showing how TJS-10 slowly settled into a stable, closer position to TJS-3. The longitude graph clearly shows TJS-3 maintaining its position between 172.92 and 173.04 degrees throughout the period, while TJS-10's longitude shifts to get closer to TJS-3. This indicates that TJS-10 is the active satellite maneuvering to approach TJS-3 and settle in a closer longitude box between 172.79 and 172.801 degrees. Finally, the semi-major axis versus longitude graph for TJS-10 shows a probable maneuver to get closer to TJS-3. This maneuver highlights TJS-10's active role in these encounters. In conclusion, these images chronologically capture the whole duration of the operations between TJS-3 and TJS-10. TJS-10 executed a series of 4 medium to large maneuvers, ranging from 0.14 meters per second to 0.9 meters per second, including corrective maneuvers to modify its longitude slot. By dropping its longitude to a new geo slot between 172.79 and 172.801 degrees, TJS-10 crossed path with TJS-3 and then stabilized its orbit in close proximity to its target, which evolves between 172.92 and 173.2 degrees. It also seems that from its point of closest approach, TJS-10 had an excellent solar phase angle and lighting conditions to image TJS-3 on May 16th. It is possible we will see other closer rendezvous in the future between these two assets, as they are now in extremely close proximity and allied. Thank you for watching this analysis. Orbit information is provided by COMSPOC, with analysis performed using Systems Toolkit from ANSYS, and the space insights were provided by ISR University's Final Frontier Flash newsletter.